So during the last video, see, I'm experimenting with my phone now for YouTube. Since my camera's broken, I was catching some of that light above me, and I had this awesome little ray of light shining down across my face like an angel. Just kidding. Okay, so this video is concerning the magical imagination. Let me get this right here. I belong to a forum, and I made a post about some of the more advanced concepts about cultivating the magical imagination. And some of the guys were fairly confused, and they were asking me to, about some of the more beginner stuff, like how do they get to where I am? How do they even start building a magical imagination? So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to go over some of the more beginner concepts in that category with magical imagination. So the very first thing you want to do is start building the common imagination. And how you're going to want to do this is, say you pick an object from your desk, a pen, a bottle of water, whatever. You just want to grab something, and eye drops. Yay for eye drops. Just grab something and study it. You're going to want to look at how the little lines, the different colors, where everything comes together. You want to check out the little imperfections, these little dents, little scratches on it. The spring, how the spring winds, how it works. You're just going to want to kind of study it. You can choose something, a little bit simpler than this. See if I have, anything on my desk right now. This would work perfectly. I don't know whose this is, but it's a ring. I think this is Mary's. So you take the ring and you just, you look at it. You study it. You look at how it's constructed, the design, what it looks like. And after studying it for some time, you close your eyes and you try to duplicate it. Try to duplicate it to the best of your ability. So you've got your eyes closed, and I'm putting the little cross there. I see the cross. I see I start to see the actual ring. I'm seeing the little imperfections, little scratches on it, little dents. I see how the bevel comes in on the inside, and little dots and the diamonds, how they're placed. I'm looking at the colors, and you just really want to get it. You want to get this to the point to where you can hold this image perfectly in your mind for about 10 minutes without any distractions. Now, obviously, there are precursor meditations to get to this point, such as the focus meditation and the clearing, the void meditation, clearing the mind. So this is a little bit more advanced than just your average meditation, but this is a very important meditation and skill to achieve for further meditations, for more advanced meditations, and for further abilities. Now, so the first thing you want to do is perfect the ability to see clearly an object in your mind. Now, for some people, this may take some time, because a lot of people that don't have a very good visual imagination will have a hard time conjuring up the image and keeping it in their mind for 10 full minutes. But it is doable. It is definitely doable. Okay, I promise you, I do it, and you can do it. Trust me. So you get this held in your mind, and you keep it there for as long as possible. So that is the very first step. The very first step is just picking a normal object, something simple, the simpler the better, and memorize it and reproduce it in your mind's eye for 10 minutes without any distractions. Okay, that is the very first step towards building a magical imagination. Once you have that mastered, there's a reason they call this a magical imagination, by the way. It goes back to, to a lot of the older schools of mysticism and occult schools of, like yogic schools and Hermetic order and some of these orders like that. So anyway, that's the first meditation, very first meditation. You want to be able to do that. Once you get that down, the second meditation that you're going to want to focus on working on is being able to bring that to your visual forefront. And how you're going to want to do this is actually quite simple. You get basic shapes, triangle, square, letters maybe even, T and L and A, whatever. And you get a white piece of paper, put it in front of you, and set it down on your desk and trace it with your finger. So you trace an A, okay? You just trace the A. Now you will notice that when you trace with your finger a letter or a square or a triangle or whatever, that you will see almost a tracer effect. You will see kind of a light after image of the shape you just drew, just for a second. It'll just hang around for a second. And so you'll draw a line and you'll see just an after image hang out for a split second, and then it'll go away. This is really important. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use this tracer effect to your advantage. And so what I suggest people do is get a white piece of paper, as I said, and just pick a few things. Pick a triangle and a square and a couple of different letters or numbers, and trace them out and hold that tracer image for as long as you possibly can. So do a triangle and hold that triangle. Try to maintain it, try and see it, try and keep it in your mind's eye for as long as possible. And this is doable. This is definitely doable. It will take some time, but you will be able to do this. Once you get that down, you want to start producing this tracer effect behind closed eyes. So this is different from your mind's eye. This is not, creating an image in your mind. This is on your eyelids, with your eyes closed, taking your finger, making the shape over here, but seeing the tracer happen behind your eyelids, actually seeing the lines happening. Now, this tracer effect is interesting because once you get used to it, you can actually cause tracers to happen right before your eyes. You can cause little, whips of doodads to move around. You can cause a triangle to appear in front of your eye, or a square, or a circle. Circles, for me, are actually a little bit harder for some reason. I have to actually get it. But you'll notice that after a while you'll be able to do this with your mind alone without using your finger, and you'll be able to do it with open eyes. So the progress here is to first do this on a piece of paper with your finger and keep the tracer there for as long as possible. Once you can keep it there for a set amount of time, then you want to close your eyes. Once you can keep it there for, I'd say, 15-20 seconds, then you can go on to move on to closing your eyes and do it behind your eyelids. Make sure you're not doing this in your mind's eye. This is key. You have to be able to do it behind your eyelids, not in your mind's eye. Once you can do that, you start practicing in midair. So you, without your finger, with your mind, you do the A, do the B, do a C, do a triangle, do a square, do a rectangle, do a circle. Now, this is possible. It takes some work, but you can do this. But these are the preliminary steps. I know I'm going over about 3 or 4 months of tough meditation work in a single video, but these, they're quick and easy steps. You can remember these. And these are the steps to get to the more advanced levels. Once you're capable of effectively producing these images in your mind, or in tracer form in front of your eyes, you want to move into colors. Now, colors. Well, maybe I should do this on another video. Okay. Actually, you don't want to move into colors. I just totally lied to you. You want to move into 3-dimensional shapes. So now you've got your two-dimensional shapes mastered. You've got a square, you've got a circle. You can put these shapes out in front of you pretty easily in tracer form. Once you can do that fairly easily, and you can hold them there for a significant amount of time, say 5-6 minutes, you can hold, you can do these tracers and hold them there for a long amount of time. What you're going to want to do next is put in the third dimension. So instead of doing a triangle, do a little pyramid. Now, you may wish to actually get a model of a pyramid and look at it, but you're going to actually want depth. You're going to want the tracer to go like that. Or you can do a cube and then just elongate it, do a square and pull it back. And it takes, this again also takes some work to get going, but it is possible. Now that we're into the arena of actually being able to project, kind of ethereal looking tracer images before our eyes, we can, and now they're 3D, right? We can start adding motion to it. So you get the cube and you spin it. If ever in any point you get stuck or have a difficult time doing it with your eyes open, go ahead and close your eyes and do it behind your eyelids. It's easier because you're blocking out a lot of the extra clutter, a lot of the extra input. You just close your eyes. If you get stuck on a part, just close your eyes and master it with your eyes closed first, and then move on to doing it with your eyes open. That applies for any of these exercises. So once you can get the three-dimensional shape going, and you can get them to move, you can rotate them and move them around or whatever, you're at a very good spot. This is an extremely good spot to be, because this is the spot where we can move on to the more advanced concepts, which I will talk about in the next video. This video alone may, depending on your imagination and your ability to see things in your mind, this may be something you can pick up fairly easily, or this may be something that you could be working on for several months. Don't be discouraged, because this is actually a very cool ability, but it could be something that you may be working on for a while if you don't have a developed sense of imagination. Now the cool thing about this is that it is possible to project a full-colored image in front of your face in all its detail and glory, such that if you were to hold up its twin next to it, the only reason you would be able to tell the difference is that you know that you just created that other one. It will look so real and so tangible that it will actually look like the actual object is floating in front of your face. The only reason you'll know it's not is because you're exhausting an enormous amount of concentration and energy to get that to do that. So we'll talk about the steps to get to that point, maybe over the next couple videos, but those are your preliminary steps. Those are the steps to work on first, and to really hone down. You just want to get those down really well before we want to move on to the next step. But yeah, that's the preliminary magical imagination practices and meditations. What the magical imagination can lead to is, okay, yeah, so what? You can, project an image in front of your face. Big deal, right? It goes much further than that. With this ability, you are able to completely reconstruct a forest, a cabin, a lake in front of you, whatever. This ability will actually allow you to step directly into a lucid dream from your waking consciousness without going into meditation. It is a meditation, but without meditating down and taking 20 minutes to get into a good solid trance, and then waiting for the vibratory phenomena to start, and then wiggle your way into a full lucid dream. This is a shortcut to diving directly into a lucid dream from full waking consciousness. You sit down, you project the full image or surrounding. I personally cannot do that yet. I have to close my eyes and do it, and I actually have to get a lot of motion going, like going down streets and turning corners and moving through rooms before I actually step into a lucid dream, and I'm not even really that good with that yet. But this is possible, and it is talked about in some very obscure and hard to find texts, but they are out there. Anyway, we will go into the more advanced concepts in the next video, and I hope that helps with explaining some of the more basic and preliminary concepts to developing the magical imagination. See you guys next time.